Guys, this is part 2. Did you see part 1 yet? If you didn't, just go back.
To me, and I've said this all season, and I will die on this hill. I'm sorry, I will. When Audrey said, it makes me look like I have my head in the sand, and I don't, with all due respect, and I have done this as well, Audrey.
Every woman
has done this.
Yeah.
You do have your head in the sand, because if you are hearing all of this stuff and you have been dating this guy now for a year and a half and you have zero plans for the future, you do not, maybe a vacation together, maybe a weekend away, not are we moving in together? Do we want to get married? Do we want to have children? None of this has been planned out, okay? And you've been with him for a year and a half and he's almost 40 years old. Then he's telling you everything you need to know without actually saying it. And you're too scared to press him for information because you know, you squeeze an orange, what do you get? Orange juice. You squeeze Craig, what do you get? A breakup. Or Austen, I cannot remember Austen's name. I really have a mental block with it. You squeeze Austen, what do you get? A breakup, because he doesn't want to be in a relationship because he is a single person. So if you press him for information, you're not going to hear what you want to hear. And that's why you haven't had those tough conversations, because if you did, he would tell you, I don't want you to move in. I don't want you to move to Charleston. And then you would be forced to break up with him because you realize you're in a relationship with no future, period.
It sounds like that's about what's going to happen next week.
I've been saying this from jump.
Yeah.
Sorry, it gets me so angry.
No, I know. When she finds out that these conversations have been had, that Shep said this, that Craig said this at this party, because I feel like Austen went and got this person to fill the void of Craig. And so he's probably spent the entire time just smack talking Craig and all the people that are just such dicks, you know, and she's been on the other end of the phone just listening like, oh yeah, no, that's horrible. He said that to you? No, that's fucked up. Like, just, I feel like he got her to be a sounding board. And I'm dying to know what he told her about these conversations and what she asked in return. Like if he says, Craig said that I'm jealous of him because he's single now. I'm sure Audrey's first thing was like, I can't believe he said that. That's horrible. He said it in front of all those people. What a dick. Just curious though, have you ever said anything like that to him?
But that's what I'm saying. She's not asking those questions.
But I don't know that, because I don't know if Austen is a guy that goes, are you joking? Of course. Like, Austen is just as, like, he lied about the thing with Taylor. Like, they asked him a bunch of times. Nothing happened between him and Taylor. And then finally one night he just says it did. Now, we all kind of knew he was lying, but like, it wasn't for lack of trying, you know? Like, it was just, we just knew that he was, also because like Taylor was in the position that she was in. She was just in that phase that every girl can identify with. They're making bad decisions because they're in a truly heartbroken state of mind. And I would like to know if Austen, if she ever asked, I'm just curious, like why would he say something like that? And I'm wondering if Austen straight up lied and said, absolutely not. I would never say something like that. Like, and I understand that Audrey should say, well, he got it from something, you know?
Yes. Listen, I definitely think he could have lied. 100%. I don't put that past him because we've seen him lie in the past. However, do you remember the conversation that we saw them have at Sally Sells Singles by the Seashore or whatever in the beginning of the season? Austen and Audrey are talking on the beach and she's like, well, I would like you to come to, where does she live? Charlotte. I would like you to come to Charlotte more. And she was kind of pressing him a little bit. And he was like, giving her the Heisman and just really like, we're not going to have this conversation. I can't remember his exact words, but he was basically just like kicking the can down the road and not really answering any of the things
waiting
that
for
she
that
said.
meteor to arrive. Correct.
And I think that that's what he does. I think he makes it so uncomfortable for her to ask the question, because you know, it's like the roommate thing that you always tell us, where it's like, oh, you know, she thinks one thing's happening, but really he doesn't just want to drive her home. Yeah, like Natalie had an old roommate that like girls would always end up there longer because he didn't really want to go drive him home, and Natalie's like, these girls think that he really like.
I thought it was gonna be a one night stand, and I've spent the whole weekend with him.
That's right.
Yeah, because traffic is shitty in the afternoon on Saturday.
And he doesn't want to drive you to the Val.
You're going home on Sunday night,
right? Monday, if he's really pushing it.
Yeah.
But I think he just does that typical dude thing of like, not giving a convenient time to have the conversation. Then when you do try to have the conversation, he gives one word answers, doesn't really extrapolate on like what he's feeling and makes no future plans. But you're just so happy to be around him and so psyched to be in a relationship with a guy that maybe you have good chemistry with, or he makes you laugh or whatever, that you're not pressing him because you're just trusting. Like, no, but like we spend a lot of time together and we have such a good time together. Right. But what is he telling you? It has to be actions and words. It can't just be actions and it can't just be words. It has to be both.
It's true. I think about the conversation about, I would really like you to come here more. Like, that's just dudes. I am generalizing. That's just dudes not wanting to drive in traffic. And if they can get you to come here, and I live in a way cooler city and we have so much fun here, like we're going to do this, that, and the other. Whereas if I go to Charlotte, I don't know what goes on in Charlotte. I'm sure it's no Charleston. I don't know. So that to me just seems like okay, I can actually take that argument and be like, that is just very dudes just not wanting to do the thing, and also going, and it's so much funner here anyways, I'm right. And her actually agreeing with that. That could have been a thing. I think that I'm just uncomfortable with that, like that we know nothing of this girl. And the way that she spoke this episode was very direct and very like, she just, like I said, was speaking with a lot more like oomph than she ever has. And so I just feel like I don't want to assume she's just some girl that just like didn't want to have the hard conversations and is just so in love with, who the fuck is so in love with Austen? Like that's
so many great chicks.
Right. Ugh. I don't want
Olivia was in love with him.
I get it. I am sure that you are right. I'm not going to assume that she is just this desperado that's listening to him for whatever reason. Like, I just need to know her better. If I saw her literally one single time let him roll one over on her, aside from one that's about like, come to my city instead of me come to yours.
The way he was ignoring her when she was talking about all the traffic that she was stuck in when they were on the phone, when she was driving up.
But that could be a thing that they always talk about. And it's just like, what do you want me to say to this? Like when somebody tells me, when I'm on the phone and they're telling me how much traffic they're in, there's not a lot I can say back. All I'm saying is I'm not going to put her in a category because I don't know, because I just think it's the right thing to do. So that's what I'm choosing, is like, I want to know more, and maybe we will find out more, and maybe I'm sure you will be 100% right, but I'm not in on it yet because I don't want to do that to her right now.
And to be clear, I'm putting her in a category that I have been in, and I think that's why I can call it so
everybody
quickly,
has, though.
Where it's just like, you're just making a mistake that so many women have made, and that's okay. And hopefully next time you'll just push the guy and be like, if you were really desperately in love with me and wanted to start a life with me, you would trade every other weekend to come and see me. If you really wanted to be with me after a year and a half, you would have made the move without me having to ask you. You would have driven to Charlotte without me having to beg you. You wouldn't be flirting with someone else.
I know, but do we think that she has been this person that has been dying to get married from the jump?
That's what I think we'll find out here in the next few episodes. But like, that's always been my take, and not my take, but like my assumption is like, maybe she's also enjoying being 3 hours away. She's also enjoying having her private time and not having to deal with Austen all day. Maybe she likes just driving down and getting a little fun on the weekend and like driving back home. And maybe she hasn't brought it up because she also doesn't want it,
I don't think she's some desperado human that is like, oh my God, we've been dating for 6 months. Where's my ring? I like an Asher cut. I think when we first met her, when she was at dinner with Austen's parents, she was talking about how she wants 4 kids and how she wants to get married. Like, she has thought about this for her future. She's not 22 years old. She realizes that there is a time frame to do this in, and she's been dating someone for a year and a half. I just don't believe that a 30-something-year-old woman is dating
Is she 30-something?
Even if she's in her late 20s, but she's talking about
wanting kids are different. I never wanted to get
we're getting married where I'm so happy, but like I couldn't have ever cared less.
But hold on, she wants
no
4
offense,
children.
I'm older, but like the kids nowadays, there's 47 stages before you're even boyfriend and girlfriend.
I know, but they are boyfriend and girlfriend.
We're lumping her in. You got to admit, we're lumping her in. We don't know anything about her.
I don't know. I just saw her sit there saying she wants 4 kids. She wants to get married, and she's
true.
been with the dude for a year and a
When
half.
you're
And
sitting
she
across
wants
from
to see him
someone's
more.
mother, these are the things that you say.
She didn't say
I've
she
never
wanted it
said
with
that to
Austen.
someone's
said
mom.
that a million times.
Really?
Yeah, you just tell them stuff. Oh, it seems like they're into this.
I have never lied to any of you parents out there.
Well, I hope that she is as upstanding of a citizen as you are.
Yeah.
I
Two
haven't.
parents? You've had 2 boyfriends, though.
Yeah, and I never lied to him.
I thought that I screenshot it, but I didn't. But Pat Clark said she doesn't. She's loves living on her own. Did you read this?
It was so good. I
Yeah,
have
it
it.
was so good.
And she's like, I'll go out and I'm leaving early. I'll go on vacation with my husbands and they can f off.
Yeah, and they're back together now, and they still chose to have separate houses. Like,
The amount of people
So
who
great.
sleep in different, like the 2 bedrooms is like, I know some, but I don't know them. But somebody used to work on AGT right before I got on AGT, and they left to go do another job. This person is married. They live in separate houses.
oh, my friend, our old editor Lane that edits for Hey Jersey stuff. Lane lives separately from his wife.
This
This is the thing. People are
married,
doing this.
separate
Things
houses.
are changing out there.
Yeah, dude. People
A
are wanting
Baldwin,
to.
Billy Baldwin, and his wife do this,
Live
and they've been
separately
married for
too.
like in separate houses.
It looks like
Oh,
Clooney.
who else?
It
Who's
looks like
the-
George Clooney and Amal.
What?
It looks like they're kind of setting up so that they can live separately.
Tim
Like,
Burton and
why?
Tim Burton and his wife live in. I think they have houses right next door to each other,
Yeah.
but they live in different houses. I can't remember his wife's name, but she's in his movies.
yeah, that's I'm
Billy
into it.
Baldwin's wife says I'm allergic to him if I spend too much time with him.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
basically
it
I
seems
get a
great.
rash.
One house is in Beverly Hills, one's in Santa Barbara. I think we talked about it when we used to do the news,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like, wow, that they've got it all figured out. Who wouldn't want to have both of these? And sometimes they stay together, but
Greg,
it's just
not
like,
me.
Yeah.
I want a buddy. I want to live with this person. I also grew up that way, so I think it's familiar to me.
I mean, we all grew up that way.
No. I mean, like my parents like worked
Grew
together.
up a lot of ways that should probably change now.
Listen, you are very traditional.
In that sense, like, well,
In
but I
the-
also grew up with people being so like everyone was up each other's asses, and I
Yeah.
think that would really bother a lot of people. And quite frankly, I really miss it. I like a buddy now.
No, I know totally. So I think that maybe you should be open to the fact that maybe not everyone
I am.
wants a 24/7
Oh no,
buddy.
totally. I think it's great. I
And,
think
like,
if it
she
works,
might. We don't know anything about her, and that is my point of this whole thing.
Yes.
We don't know her, and I don't want to lump her in. And I want her to leave here with her head held high and be like, God, why did all you guys think that I was like dying to move in with this guy and like dying to get married? Like, yeah, I didn't like love it. Clearly, he's like, I didn't know he was here flirting with other chicks and like a girl that's like been waiting for me to leave him. You know, that's kind of annoying. But like, she really could have that explanation if we ever got the chance to see her interviewed on her own and somebody asked her like, so what was the relationship like? She could be like, I had just gotten out of a 7-year relationship before I met him. Like, this was like the kind of the perfect thing. I don't know. I could be so wrong. But until I know, I'm just giving her that, like, I don't know.
it's very nice of you, Audrey. I'm lumping you in with me, and I think you can still leave with your head held high. Anyway, okay. So, does anyone have anything else to add to this segment before we get to the actual party?
Why is she mad at Shep and not Craig?
I think she's mad at both.
Yeah.
But but the fact
But
that she's
like
mad at Shep at all.
Like way mad and doesn't even want to see him or talk to him and is like, oh, I can't believe, but like that she's not that mad at Craig. Shep didn't say shit.
No, but she said, she's like, I don't understand why like he would say that. He doesn't know our relationship at all.
So,
and
like,
you
right.
always let him back in. And you always take his apologies. Every time I call you, like she did seem like she had a way bigger beef with Craig.
Right. So I know why she's mad at Craig.
Right.
Why is she mad at Shep?
That's what I
Shep
wanted to
brought
know.
it
What did
up.
Shep do? He didn't. He didn't say shit
Well, no,
until
he-
No, he
Craig
brought
had
up
a
the
temper
girls.
tantrum and then was forced to take him in and be like, it's probably nothing but some dumb girl. Like he didn't say anything.
But no, he
He
told
did, but he
Craig,
wasn't. He would have never said anything.
But in Shep's own words, he's like, it's on me because I told Craig. This never could have come out if I didn't say anything to Craig, and I have to own that. And I think that that's why Audrey's pissed at him.
I think she's pissed at him because he clearly said, you know, these girls came up to me and this thing happened. And I wonder if she is that like protective of Austen, where she's like, you're disparaging his good name or whatever is disparaging. Yeah, disparaging. You know, you're like gossiping about him and spreading these things. So she clearly doesn't believe that it happened. So I feel like she's mad at Shep because she thinks Shep is lying. Now, the other thing that I forgot to bring up is that Rod also at some point, I think at the furniture store, says, I don't believe that happened, or I don't believe. I couldn't tell if he was saying, do you remember this when he says, Austen, the thing that Shep said, I don't believe it. I couldn't tell if he meant, I don't believe that really happened and Shep's just lying about it and making it up, or if he means, I don't believe the girls. Either way, if he means,
I think it's the latter.
He doesn't believe the girls,
Like that
or
two
he doesn't
girls
believe that
came
it
and said
happened.
this to Shep.
Or that he doesn't believe that it happened. That's what it was. Those were the two things I was conflating. Does he not believe that it happened? That like what the girls said happened?
Exactly. That's what I think. He believes that two
Okay.
girls went up to Shep, but what they said happened, he thinks is a falsehood.
Okay.
I think.
Then I am. Rod is new. Then he still doesn't, because I mean he is new. So I'm just wondering, like, how anybody could say with like stand firm on that, like Austen would never do that. That's horseshit. Like Austen would do that. I'm not saying he
Play
did.
the
I have no
tape.
idea. I have no idea if that specific thing happened. But like the way that he said, like I don't believe it. Like you don't know. I think that would be like I don't think you would do that to Audrey. You know,
Just
like,
put a pin in that.
Yeah, because
When we get to the actual party,
I want to live at that place.
I knew
and
you were going to say
never
that.
leave.
Was that Tyler's mom's house, or did they rent that place? That was
I
seemed
thought
like a
rent
venue.
it, but then
kind of.
somebody showed up and was like, "Their house is so amazing."
No, I think it's like
Oh.
someone that like they all know or are friends with, or
Oh, okay.
Anyways, I want that to be my house.
Yeah.
I would never leave. I would, like, when people are like, "Oh, I'm a homebody, I don't go outside." Like, obviously, people have agoraphobia, makes sense. But like, if I had that place, I would be like, "Yeah, I have agoraphobia. I can only go in my backyard and take my boat out on the harbor and fish." Like that place, I rewound like 5 times just to like get the glimpse. It was amazing. It's so beautiful.
real pretty.
We're moving there, FYI.
I asked Harris last night, when you watched like, you know, scenes from the next or whatever for this episode, and you saw like that white party, do you know what that was for? And he's like, no idea. Like, and I'm like, because I didn't miss it somewhere along the way. Like, I think it's weird that like, I think the only time that we've heard about Rod's engagement is maybe because he said it on the reunion, like, oh, and I'm engaged now. Like, and it was like in and out quick. And
I could be totally wrong, but I feel like he said it in like
I thought he said it earlier this season.
easy or like episode 1 or 2. But
Yeah.
now I'm also getting what's her name, the girls from the Valley, mixed up.
No, I'm remembering. I think I'm remembering what you're remembering
I
also.
think he might have mentioned.
If
I thought it was
did-
like at the
in a
baby shower or something.
Episode 1, like, oh, what's happened? Oh, we got engaged. And
Yeah.
and this is what's
if that
happening.
happened, then that's something. But I still just think it is so gross how little we know of Rod. Like, Rod has a significant thing happening, and his fiance is not no one. He's adorable and should be included. And I think it just goes with what I was saying about, like, you know, you let them be in these like shit story, shady bitch, like, you know, what these like situations. And I just think it's crazy that like this story is unfolding right in front of us, and it's interesting, and the characters are interesting. And like, I think it's crappy that like, you didn't, like, we should have been building up to like their engagement party, just like we've seen every single minute of Madison's life. If she gets a new, you know, pull on her drawer, we hear about it and we get a shot of it, and we get a scene with her calling her husband about it and look at the new thing. Like, we know the entire construction of like this whole thing, and I just think I think it's just weird and I like in a negative way. I'm getting a negative vibe from how they are not letting Rod show his life in a way that like we are all very interested in seeing. And some of these scenes are like, oh, nothing's happening. Then put it in there. Like, if there's nothing happening in the scene, let's see like Tyler putting the friggin' registry together, or like the guest list, or who's gonna sit where, or what. And I get that they haven't gotten that far in their planning.
No,
but
they did. The registry is he said give up. We're sending all. Basically, it was like, oh, we don't have a registry. We're doing
that's
all
right.
to the Animal Foundation or
Society.
whatever. Which I was like,
okay,
Hell yeah, dude.
sure. All good and great. I would like to know what Tyler has to say about this. I feel like he has not been consulted about
Also,
it.
even if
Because
the
I feel like Tyler being like, whoa, whoa, man, your gifts can go
Yes.
there.
Yeah,
and that's what I mean.
have
This
my
is what
own
Tyler has to
registry.
offer. Tyler has to offer moments like that, and I want to see them instead of making them up in my head.
I also just would like to say, Whitney, that even if the registry's not up, you could have still brought a bottle of Champers, something.
Whitney? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because Whitney showed up
Oh,
empty-handed.
yeah. And didn't even know.
No, he's like, I would have gotten you something, but I was waiting for the registry to go up. And it's like, a totally valid excuse, completely valid. You still could have brought a bottle of wine.
No, totally. Whitney's so
It was
checked
valid until he got to Madison and was like, "We're doing a what do they call those things?
Gender
No, he's like,
Doing a
reveal.
gender
no, I'm
reveal." And she was like,
genuinely.
"No, you dumbass! The party we had in your front yard where it was all pink, that was the Jenny." He was like,
But I'm
Yeah.
genuinely
Like, so
worried
wasted.
about him. You could see he did not remember the baby shower.
Listen,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
remember what
happens
I
when
had
you
for
eat
breakfast. So,
pills all
like, that's a
day.
thing. But I just think that he's very checked out and
I don't know if he checked in to check out. Like that was worrisome. But
last time he checked in, he banged Catherine. So let's
maybe
not.
you should check in again then, because I feel like that was good season for him. Besides the fact that like Craig wore a cowboy hat to a Grecian themed party. Like we're not in Oklahoma, we're in Greece, brother. It looked cute on him, but regardless, really quickly into this episode, and I will say I loved Vanita's dress. That 10
Best
out of
she's
10.
ever looked.
Oh,
Best dress there. Best she's ever looked. Period.
she looked amazing.
And I don't like a lot of Vanita's dresses. I think that a lot of them are too oversized for her. And this one, I don't. It just draped on her beautifully, perfectly, like perfection. And she fell.
But I loved that dress on her. But at any rate,
I would have like if I was story producing or editing that episode, I would have been like, just cut that. She's getting so much shit. Can we just cut this one part where she almost
Maybe
eats
they don't like
shit
her.
out of the bus?
Don't
You know how
ever
some-
cut someone falling. It is never not funny to me. I'm
same.
sorry.
It's never, as long as no one's hurt, it's never not funny.
Even if I
No,
I can't help what's funny.
Okay, but
Love
so
is love.
Madison said something at the top of the scene where she was just like, not to beat a dead horse, but she said, Austen's just telling Audrey what she wants to hear. He's not telling her the truth, and everyone here knows what's really going on. And like, I'm bummed for her.
That's what's so f***ed about this.
I think that's also what I know I say it every week. That's what gets me so heated with Austen. Like, stop doing that to her. She seems like such a great chick.
This whole thing is just so rude. Like I said, she was like not a part of any of this. And it's like they just brought her on to dump her because like that's drama and that's interesting and that's, provocative and whatever. And people love to see people's demises, like it's just, why'd you bring her here just to do that? Why didn't you just tell her before the season started, you stupid jerk? But you don't have a story besides that unless it's fighting with Craig. You have a girlfriend that lives far away that like you can bring in, or you can call Craig a huge asshole that's ruining everyone's lives. Like that, it's so selfish that he brought her into this because he has nothing else to talk about.
Obviously, we could talk about any parts of this scene that you would like, but the real headline for me was, and this is where I will agree with you that I think Craig can manipulate situations. When he went over to talk to Sally to give his non-apology, it was like, this is so shit of you, because not only is it not even close to an apology, you're blaming her to do some weird Jedi mind trick on her that like, oh, you believed my arch nemesis as opposed to me, when you actually did say a lot of these things. You didn't say all of them.
Yeah.
You didn't say you're done. You didn't say you're finished with the friendship. You did say she was chaotic. You did say she was basically a whirling dervish, all that stuff. But Craig added a lot of seasoning to that, a lot of flair. And you could have just really owned up to what you said, saying, listen, what did he tell you so I can correct the record and say, and a lot of the stuff I said, I shouldn't have said it, and that I apologize for. But now it's like you didn't even apologize for the stuff that you said. And now you did some weird Jedi mind trick on her for her to feel crappy that she believed Austen over you, when it's like, this is why she doesn't believe you.
And why she believes Austen 100 times over.
But Austen shouldn't be believed either, because Austen's lying.
But these interviews are later, and I'm pretty sure she's probably banging Austen by that point. So of course she's going to be like, I believe Austen about everything. Austen's the greatest guy in the friggin' world.
Wait, was it in an interview or was it at the party? I think it was at the party. either way, she wants to bang Austen at this point.
No,
so
she does. And I want to bring up a comment that someone wrote, and I don't know if I screenshot it all. We'll get to them later. I will give credit for everything that I've been like just spouting on me. Like someone said, I will try to get to who said all these things at the end. But somebody said, I don't understand if Sally is serious that she's looking for her person and wants to date with a purpose. Who said it?
We'll read it because we have it saved. Yeah,
because Austen is not looking to get married. He's made it very clear.
It was such an astute.
Oh, Judy Murray. That's who it was.
Comment.
Is it Judy or Marianne Shepard?
No, it was Judy.
Brava, Judy.
Yeah,
you nailed that.
Yeah, Judy.
And also his like Austen's also a liar and has proven himself to be a liar. And when you see how he's acting at the end of this episode, leaving Audrey at the table, you know she's the odd man out. She's not really friends with she's friendly with them. I think she's psyched when she gets to see them. And this was supposed to be like a really fun night, I think, for them as a couple, yada, yada. You then ditch her to go be rubbing up on Sally. And now your girlfriend's sitting at a table by herself and you're like, did I lose her? And the fact that she just walks by him, like this is also like walk up to him and be like, I'm leave or just leave.
But listen, he was at the bar and Sally came to him. So he didn't ditch Audrey to go hang out with Sally.
But he stayed there, put his arms around her, rubbing up on her.
She showed up. She said it. He gave her a hug. Like if you're at a bar waiting to order a drink and your friend comes up and is like, you're gonna do a little hug. Like, so just
that was more than a friendly hug.
But we did not witness him with Audrey going, there's Sally, and then bailing on Audrey to hang out with Sally. He was at the bar. She showed up. Did he hang out with her too long? Sure. Clearly, did it bother his girlfriend? Sure.
Was he touchy-feely in an inappropriate way?
It didn't feel inappropriate to me in so far as it, because they haven't hooked up yet, or like the things coming down the pipeline. They've set the bait for us. We're looking for it. But I did try to just look at that scene very like take out the noise. What happened here? She came over. They had a little recap of what's happening. It's an on-camera scene that is just as much as it would be if they were sober during the day out at a park somewhere. They're all drinking. They're at a loud bar and I took this as like they're doing their jobs. I'm not saying that like it obviously is going to go somewhere, but like if you just for what it was, like I could not be offended by that scene.
I would be bummed. I would be if my boyfriend.
I would be bummed because I know that she likes him. No, because my friends already told me that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm doing all the math where it's like someone's already said that Sally has a crush on this person.
Sorry, Madison.
Yeah, Madison's the one that said.
But Madison's a shit stirrer.
Oh, okay. Madison is doing her job. She's phoning it in this year. So all she can do, because she's pregnant and she can show up places for 15 minutes before she's like, I gotta go. I have to take these shoes off. My feet are busting out of them. Like, so she's like, I'm going to do this thing because they're basically going to let me have 9 months off or like, whatever it is. So that's why I'm not putting her within the group of the people that literally do nothing but shit stir on the reg from inception.
Yeah. Also, real quick, sorry, going back to the Craig's apology, I'm sure there's some lawyers out there. They're going to be like, that's not what a lawyer does. But generally speaking, what is the job of a lawyer?
To never admit guilt or wrongdoing. But
manipulate the facts to get a result.
But by never admitting guilt or wrong, right?
Well, of course, you're not going to admit guilt. Like that's
no, but that's what Craig's doing in this
situation. Your whole wad. But
he did.
But a lawyer's job, defense or the what is the other one?
Offense?
Prosecution. Oh. Your job is to manipulate facts to get a result, right? Craig's dream job as a little boy was to be a lawyer, was to manipulate facts to get a result. That didn't work out for him. I'm not shitting on him, whatever. But that's his life, is to manipulate facts to get a result. That's
so is Whitner going to be that way?
Well, we don't know. Yeah. Like we seem to like, but he seems to clock Craig in that way. You know what they say?
Game recognized game.
Game recognized game. I was going to say takes one to know one, but yeah. So
it's a generational difference.
I was going to say game recognized game, so it is a generational difference.
But like,
I know you are, but what am I?
That's Krager. Manipulate facts to get a result.
Okay, that's no, that's I don't stamp that.
Shocker.
No, I don't.
Just to close my Audrey loop, because I have to. If also before I went at, like, if Madison said that to me about the Sally liking my boyfriend shit, and then the rumor that Shep brought up to Craig, and then Craig brought it up on camera, and then before we went out, defending my relationship with you, being like, they don't know what goes on in our relationship. I would want you to be out publicly with me, specifically when there's cameras on me, and be boyfriend of the millennia. Like, not like, yes, of course you can be standing at the bar waiting for a drink. Like, oh, hey, it's so nice to see you. Or, hey, Audrey, I'm going to go get a drink. Do you want to come with me? We don't know if he said that or not. I'm just saying, like, I would want my boyfriend, knowing that I'm like in a tender spot with this group of people, to be really by my side, like how Brett would probably be with Madison.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. Does anyone else have anything else to say about this end scene?
I do enjoy when people are like, man, if he was here, I'd tell him this, I'd tell him to his face, you F you and F her that. And then he shows up and it's like, like, Sally, you said none of those things to this dude that you said you couldn't wait. Oh, if he was here right now, I would lay him out. Well, you had a chance to lay him out and you did nothing but Google him and let him manipulate you with a bunch of bullshit and make it seem like it wasn't his fault that he said all this crazy wild shit about you.
But she
that shit bugs
said,
me.
well, okay, it could, but it's also what she says after that, and her reasoning for doing that is what I would like Vanita to partake in a bit, or just acknowledge that is also an option when shit doesn't go your way, which is, she said, if I can be on good terms with someone, I'm going to choose to be on good terms with them. She doesn't say this, but I take that as, this is a workplace. We're all here from 9 to 5. I got to see this dude and whatever. So I'm not going to.
I'm also seeing what's happening to Vanita going after Craig.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that it's best to self-preserve. Like, don't like, you've already been, if this is all real, if this is all true and whatever, then she's gotten a little embarrassed. I also think it's shitty that, like, Charlie's over here being like, Craig, go talk to her. And he's like, so if I go talk to her, you and I can go on a date. And she's like, yeah. Like, I hate that. I wish that they would not have had that sidebar conversation. I think that that's gross. And now, like, if all this is real, when Sally watches this, to see that, like, so you only came up to me and told me that whole thing because you're just trying to go on a date. Like, it's embarrassing. Charlie. It's humiliating. I also thought it was just lame that, like, this was funny because it was just funny that they're sitting there. Sally and Madison are sitting there, and Craig walks up and he's got a bottle of Vouv in his hand, and Madison goes, did you bring my gift over here? Yeah. And he goes, I did, because I think Sally's going to need it. And it's like, okay, like, don't act like, I don't know, just like, you're here to make good with someone who is upset with you and has her feelings hurt over things that you've said, things that have transpired in the recent, I don't know how long ago this party was from that event, whatever.
All valid.
Yeah.
That she should have her feelings hurt from what you said.
And then don't act like you're going into this knowing that she's going to be, like, obviously she was sad, but, like, it's not on you, Craig, to go, I think you're going to need this after we have this talk. Like, you're so heartbroken and, whatever, that you're going to need to drink your feelings away. Like, I just thought that was kind of whatever. There's a million things that, like, I always just wish Craig would do. Now, the things that Craig does do that are not great are never important to me. They're always just something that I would just laugh at later or be like, oh, this mother, like they're benign to me. They don't seem to, like, move mountains. So I never really get mad at him because it's just, like, silly, stupid stuff of just, like, Craig still acting like, just, I don't know, his, like, maturity level isn't as where we would all love it to be. I would love if he would go about things differently, and he doesn't. But, like, they're always just, like, on the line of, like, oh, whatever, we move on, Yeah. I don't know.
Line of the season, series, maybe ever said on Bravo, though? When Madison gets up to walk away and Molly comes over and says, are they going to finger it out in the end?
I did not find that funny.
Sally wishes
yes,
they were.
So does Craig.
No, doesn't.
Craig wants to
I
get
hate
fingered
that term.
by
It's
Molly.
so gross.
Or by Sally. Dude, that shit was
Hold on. You don't think
hilarity.
that this is you say these things, and that's how I know that you're not tuned into real reality here. You fudge like you are, and then you're not. If Craig wanted to finger her, he would have 15,000 times over by now.
No, you said Sally wanted it.
Sally,
I was making a
would
joke
probably,
saying Craig also wanted Sally to finger him.
Oh,
that was my
him.
joke. Yeah.
Well, no, that still makes no sense.
It's funny.
Can we stop
though.
saying
It doesn't
the
matter.
FBs? It's so grossy.
If it's
I'm
funny,
gonna leave it for
makes
Judy
sense.
anyways.
Thanks, Judy. I appreciate it.
Do you want a quesadilla or something?
Yeah. Oh, one thing. Okay. So, like I said, what I saw on screen between between Austen and Sally, I wasn't offended by it because it seemed to me like this was a scene that was on a shot list. Like it just seemed like, oh, we have to recap this thing. You know, she had just talked to Craig, so she's going to tell Austen what just conspired, and we need to hear Austen say, "Oh my God, I can't believe that." Whatever, like that had to happen. That was a beat. But what I was pissed about, or what I would be, is that Audrey said at some point earlier, I think she said, Sal, I've crossed with Sally 3 times and said, "Hey, how's it going?" And like she never said anything back. And
Again, why I would be pissed. Sorry.
right, no, I would like. I don't think Sally's. I don't think she's great. You know, like I'm not out on Sally. I'm here for what she's bringing to the show. That's all we ever talk about. The moment shit gets stagnant, you're going to be like, where's Sally? What's Sally doing? Like the Sallys of America need to be on shows like this. I appreciate it. But it reminded me of I don't listen to Dorinda's show on Sirius, but like I see clips of it all the time. Pretty much anything it's just clips. I don't know. I listen to a lot of entertainment podcasts, but besides Juicy Scoop. But Dorinda said that when they were at BravoCon, that she was sat next to Sally, like at some point for a minute, and that everybody was talking and chatting, and that Sally never, that like it stuck out to her however long this went on, that Sally didn't acknowledge anyone. She had her sunglasses on the whole time, and she just like talked to no one, or like didn't acknowledge that anybody else was like sitting around. And like it was obviously, I don't know, enough of a thing to where she talked about it on her show and whatever. So I am curious if Sally is like all these things come off like, oh, you're kind of a bitch, or you think you're better than, or whatever. Or it's like Sally's super insecure. Is she overstimulated? Is she like, I'm new here still? Or like BravoCon, this is baby's first BravoCon, you know? Like, I don't know. I'm wondering if it's, because I know people like that. I like one of like my good friends that I thought hated me when we lived in Santa Barbara and we both worked together. Just the way that she was constantly in her head. So she was just sort of like, I feel like she was staring at me with no look on her face. And she'd be like, I never even knew you worked over there. Like, you know, you were staring at me with the bitchiest look. And she's like, I was probably just staring off into space. So I'm just wondering, I know that's a thing. I know people can just like be on their own, whatever, but I'm wondering
if I had to take a place a bet, BravoCon, probably more alcohol consumed at that thing by all these cast members than anywhere on earth. Pretty good chance. Sunglasses indoors, not wanting to hear or talk to anybody. She might have just been
I'm going to barf. I'm going to barf any
second. If I move
or
look at you or say anything, I will barf in your face.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to sit here and try not to barf in front of everybody. Okay. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't seem self-conscious or like she seems like she's going to be the life of the party no matter what.
That's what I thought too. I just
that's a hangover with the sunglasses. That's not even a hangover. That's still wasted. Not to beat a dead horse, but Sally also mentioned at the party that Craig had manipulated, just because she used the word, both of them, her and Charlie.
Yeah, because at that point she's pissed and now wants Charlie to be who Venita just made her, which I think was just so like, even if you don't love what people say or like how they act, like you still hope that they like at least have some self-awareness. And it took her all of 4 seconds to basically mirror Venita's argument that we had all
That was crazy.
Yeah. It like like did not.
That's why I thought Molly said it best when they were in that scene when it was her and Charlie.
Yeah.
And she goes, got it. So when you like Craig,
Yeah.
Craig's a good guy. But when Charlie likes Craig, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
So what is like,
Yeah.
or like I get that you feel burned by him, but if you talk to all of his friends, they actually, even people who don't like him all the time, are saying, I really don't think he was flirting with her.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I don't think that, like, I think Craig can be manipulative,
Yeah.
but I don't think he manipulated Sally. I think Sally wanted to think that Craig was into her
Yeah.
and was hoping that this, like, you know, meetup was eventually going to turn into something. And I think he actually does really like Charlie, and
Yeah.
she likes him. And I think they'll crush on each other, even if it's just for the show. I think they're genuinely wanting to make out.
I also wonder, like, because I had been saying, you know, there's no way that they could still be together because we would have seen something or whatever. But like they also both could just be really serious about like keeping the show, like letting everything take its like play out on the show and like not being in public, just like the people on The Bachelor, whatever. I'm not saying that this is probably the case. I'm saying that I would be so pleasantly surprised if like they actually are still dating and have just been really like under wraps.
I would be too.
I would love that.
Harris sent me a carousel of photos from, I think it was Craig's Instagram. They were shooting something. I couldn't figure out what it was. And it was Shep, Sally, Charlie, and Craig. And I will say Craig did have his hands on Charlie in a very cute kind of like hip, but there was skin touching skin kind of things, whatever.
God.
And I was like, this, if you guys could actually get your shit together, this is what could bring you guys back together, because then Austen will have his party girl, Sally, and they can be cute ding-dongs together.
Yeah.
And Craig will have the chick who wants to have bees and chickens, and they can have their homesteading ding-dong life together. And by the way, I just want to be a ding-dong with someone, so that this is not shade to anyone.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they could all go out and party together and be so fun.
No, it would be so good.
That's never going to happen, but I would like it to.
We don't know. Maybe it
We
could.
don't.
Because Craig could take the show seriously enough to be like, no, we're keeping this very under wraps. And because I do think that they are a really good fit. She is a little young for him, but I think it's
really.
fine.
It's like 10
because
years.
he's kind of immature. I mean, he's mature, he's grown, and he's got all the grown-up stuff.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's still a little emotionally stunted, you know,
Works
is like,
perfectly.
yeah, it's not a big deal.
Before we get into commies, which we'll try to do quickly because it's late. We are trying to come up with another Showmance show that kind of does more about pop culture news and like shows that we don't fully want to deep dive, but we want to talk about. And I talked to somebody about it online, but I think that maybe we try a little start of that with some recent news that broke today. But I'm a little heartbroken about it because I'm the one that said it's never going to happen in a million years.
Who called it?
You both called it, I think.
I don't know what we called.
Kyle and Amanda divorce.
You didn't know. I'm sorry. She thought they were going to be together forever, that they were
really?
each other's person.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Kyle and Amanda?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Wait.
you were like, oh, I think that
They're really going
love
to
each
make
other.
it. Yeah, probably.
I mean, I 100% thought that.
And I'm not a who called it person. I mean, I am. And I'm
But
not.
they're getting
No,
divorced.
But
you did
you
call it.
love. You're always thinking the
they're
best,
getting
and I'm looking
divorced.
at them and going,
Announced
you
it
guys
today.
are doomed.
I'm
Separated.
very happy about this for them, because I think it really
It ran its course.
it wasn't working
It was
out.
a very important relationship, and it ran its course, and they are both going to find people that are way better suited for both of them, because
100%.
No, Kyle will.
I think he will.
I think.
Kyle just wants someone that wants to party.
all the time.
Like, not even
Yeah, but
all the
that-
time, but like
A lot of the
lot.
time.
But like Amanda never wanted to go anywhere. And I'm not blaming Amanda for that. Honestly, I like to party, but I don't know if I want to party with Kyle. So maybe Amanda's going to start partying and people are going to be like, I thought she didn't like to party. She didn't want to party with you, Kyle.
But also, does this mean Summer House, which starts February 3rd? Can't wait. Is just going to be 16 weeks of these two, the demise of their actual
That's
life?
here we are again.
While West and Jesse are just being dumbasses. Like, they're not even going to be able to be dumbasses because something so real is happening. Summer House is going to be awkward. Meg texted me earlier and was like, "Oh my God, can you believe?" And
No, it's going to be just like, it's not going to be like this because I'm sorry, but Kyle and Amanda are no Paige and Craig. They just aren't. They've been rooting, like the whole country's been rooting against those two from I don't know the jump, but pretty early on. But I do hate it's going to be exactly like how we're watching an entire season knowing what's going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
Wait, this means they're going to be at the reunion separado.
Yeah.
Who gets the chair close to Andy?
Amanda. And maybe Kyle's on the other side.
Yeah,
Maybe they're
probably.
both
Kyle's down at the
positioned.
end. 100%. He's down at the end just to be funny. So yeah, that's some sad news.
That is sad.
Sad to me. This one's happy. She's probably celebrating when we're done here.
I'm happy because I think that they had a great run, and I think that they made a lot of like they're on television. Like they couldn't, maybe they wouldn't have been as popular had they not been together. You never know.
Yeah.
Amanda wouldn't have even been on the show if she didn't start
she wouldn't
dating
have
Kyle and marry him.
That's true. Exactly. She was never set out for this life.
Well-
And now she's probably going to be on.
You know, Paige is
city.
so happy.
Oh yeah, because now the city. Who knows what in the city will be?
It's gonna be
now.
so
It's going to be
good.
so much better than it was.
Well, it's
than
gonna-
them just like staying together and just whoop, whoop all the time. You know.
Meg, who is a friend of mine that I work with, she's one of the co-EPs on AGT. She texted me and was like, "Oh my God, Kyle and Amanda." But she was like, she was just like, she knew, it's like from the jump, season 1 as the side piece, like she should have known what she was getting into. And I was like, probably right. Like the signs were all there.
Yeah.
I don't remember who said it, but somebody I know says, if someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. I feel like I've heard that somewhere before.
Maya Angelou and then me.
Okay, but what were you asking people? You want them to comment on like what exactly?
No. I was just telling them that we're working on, because like people always ask, are you going to cover traders? Are you going to cover this? Are you going to cover that? And like we all have jobs, and Natalie's our only editor right now, and we would love to do this full time and 5 days a week and hire 2 more editors, and we will someday. So we're constantly trying to figure out how to do a show that encompasses like Bravo pop culture news, which is something that we want to do, but also has like quick dips on those kind of shows that we don't have the time to do full 3-hour episodes on.
And we don't even know if you like
Yeah,
Vanderpump, like It's a
exactly.
Baby. We don't know what's going to be yet. Persian Valley. We don't know if you're interested. Like
Yeah. So we're
touch on them maybe. And
we're trying to figure out a format, and we'll have something in a few weeks. We hope to air a new thing that's not a deep dive of a single show, but more all-encompassing pop culture news updates, little dips on shows, and some funny jokes. Maybe I'll do 5 minutes every week. TBD.
what's the guy in Entourage? What's that old guy that the entire time he's holding up at his house?
Is that
and
something you might be interested in?
Is that something you might be
He's
interested
the
in?
old producer.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
I love that. That episode was so good.
All right. Now we can get
Wait,
to
I just want to know, where did they announce it? Because I'm looking.
Everywhere. Page 6.
the-
Look at
in
page
the
6.
Oh, they didn't put it on their
Earth,
Instagrams.
Planet Earth.
No, I think it's on
did.
their.
I mean,
okay, you guys.
Coca
you guys
said
act like
it.
you've been
No,
It's
there.
no,
true.
obviously. I just am looking for their words, and it's not on their Instagrams.
That's weird because they released a joint statement. And it looked like it was
From Instagram?
yeah, but I saw it on page 6. But it
Yeah.
looked like one of those things that maybe it's on their story.
It's sad because obviously things like this are sad, but it's good because clearly then they can go find the people that are right for them. Anyway.
This is just a shout out to Robert Scranton, who really liked the chickens are on a sandwich joke. yeah, pretty funny. Listen, I might have been off on my little Craig dating the girl in the hot tub timeline, as so many people pointed out.
Wow, I can't believe it.
Whatever, everything happens once.
He's manipulating that sentence. What Mike
Hey.
meant to say was, I was wrong.
Hey, Mandy J. Episode 1, Madison goes to Craig's house, and Craig talks about the relationship with Natalie Buffet and with Madison. It sounds like it was over before that point. And then KT Kress, 7227, she popped it into ChatGPT, or I don't know if that's a girl or a boy. They popped it into ChatGPT, and basically ChatGPT told me to shut the hell up. So, my bad. Maggie McNaughton, both my babies came out the sunroof. I never heard that.
I love that.
So
That is
funny. I never heard
Yeah.
that before. Corbin Malott, Benita grew up in Charleston and went to school with Naomi. I know we were wondering about that. Turns out they weren't best friends in high school.
Well, that's the other thing is that, okay, you guys, we were talking, I think this came up because we were like, who are Vanita's friends? Why doesn't she ever have any friends on here? And it turns out the one friend she did have, she screamed at, and
She don't like her no more.
yeah, and sorry, you blew it.
Spragasm. Craig was his best with Paige, and that's not saying much, but he's like tofu. He takes on the flavor of who he's with.
I love
So
tofu.
true. Yeah. Nobody loves tofu.
I love tofu.
You love
don't
what's
love
on tofu. Tofu
you're
is
in
nothing.
a bind, so you have to eat it, and you've made the best out of it, as you do. You do this all the time. I don't buy that you love tofu. Oh, it's the best haircut of my
Craig.
life. I love tofu. Sorry, you've blown it on me.
Professional curious person. Speaking of chicks, have you seen Leah and Miguel's new baby chicks? My favorite is tofu. Divinely guided. Sally needs to work on herself. She got a boob job just because that's what she thought her fiance wanted. She gets chicken because she thought that's what would seal the deal with Craig. Now she knows that isn't going to happen, so she goes after Austen. Know your worth first. Kind of feel bad for her. I kind of
That
agree
is
with that.
a great point.
Yeah. Mary Ayeka Kent. I'm 5'3" and I get it. My boys were both 10 pounds. I look like SpongeBob. My daughter was only 6 and I still look like a weeble. Sheesh. 10 pounds and 21 inches.
Wow.
She's 10 pounds, both 21 inches. This is a long chain. They're both over 6 feet now. When Sam was in the nursery, he was next to 2 girl babies that were 5 pounds, and he looked like he was going to eat them. I thought that was funny. Miss de Mandeville. If I was Sally, I'd think Craig was interested. I don't understand the appeal in him. Vanita comes off as if she views Sally as a romantic girlfriend. Curfew? What the beep? Craig dragged this relationship with Paige on long after most people could see it was over or it was never going to go anywhere, just to be in a relationship, in my opinion. And in my opinion, better off just taking time to be single, properly single, by yourself. Craig, read that one. Pop that one in your chat GPT and smoke it. Tara Catlanta, I love you guys, but Mike, please calm down about Craig. My God. Touche. But it's not going to happen. Eva Flavor, Craig not wanting to date someone that slept with Shep is not misogynistic. It's understanding that if she slept with Shep, she's not that kind of woman he is looking for. And this is a bell dinger. Probably more importantly, would open him up to constant digs from Shep about him having had her first and Craig getting his sloppy seconds. I've never heard anybody nail Shep better than that. And that is so true.
I grabbed that comment off.
long.
Also, I was like, that's a
Yeah. Deborah
Hold
Trigg.
on, I still think it's horse shit when if that happened, however long ago it has, because women do what women want to do. There's plenty of worthy women that have had one night stands at some point in their life. And not only is it none of this dude's business, but a man would miss out on maybe his greatest partner in life if that's his
like the hard line
like
that
the
he will not
standard.
cross.
And yeah, if that's your hard line. In this particular instance, though, I did forget that we've already seen an episode where Shep maybe gave someone an STD on the show. And so
Listen, I think the Shep talking shit about sloppy seconds will be worse.
Than getting the STD.
Yes, 'cause he
That's
would not
STD's gone.
stop.
He's
I
There's
also
medicine
didn't remember
for
which one it
STDs.
was. So
I think it was like
I was just gonna
chlamydia or
say
something.
I would steer clear of anybody that Shep has slept with. But overall, I just want to say that like I firmly stand against like holding a one night stand against a woman. If that's not the kind of woman you want to date, like you.
yeah,
okay?
I'm with you writ large.
Okay.
I think this.
Yeah,
whatever.
And I don't mean you, Eva. I love Eva. I just
you
mean
mean-
like just
yeah.
like the idea that like that men have this idea of like, oh, I can't be bothered with that.
You've been
you know?
soiled.
Yeah, you've been soiled. Like
Whatever.
yeah. In the
Craig
words
said
of
it.
Shane Powers, if I fell in love with you, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deborah Traeger. She handled the chickens like she didn't even like them. She's not into chickens, just Craig was. TV, no, not anymore, but yeah. Oh, this is a Shannon Fall. Shannon Fall, yeah. Shannon Fall and Jen O'Toole teaming up to give some words of wisdom. This is in response to William Bowley. Craig needs to watch his alcohol. He gets nasty with his friends, and he talks about other stuff, but Shannon was replying to this. So I work at a high school, and for some reason, my students tell me everything. It's because you're cool and they trust you. I have a student who does the same thing Craig does when he feels attacked, sans alcohol. My student is highly popular and well liked by everyone, but when someone does something to him that upsets him, he goes 10 times harder in retaliation. In our conversation, I explained that this level of reaction didn't match the level of initial event. He told me, I know, but now the other guy won't ever do something like that to me again, and neither will all the people who watched it. I told him I understand the logic, but as a witness, even though I care about him, it made me look at him differently in that moment and not in a positive way. I told him everyone else is probably feeling the same way I do, but nobody else is willing to tell you that truth. He saw my point, and it ended up being a positive learning moment, food for thought. A, way to go, dude, for listening to your teacher and like taking that to heart. B, Shannon with the gold. Like,
Yeah.
I would never think about like, oh, well, I think you look like an asshole. Everyone else probably thinks that too. You know what I mean? It never would occur to me to tell someone that.
But also, how lucky are all these people that they have Shannon Fall as their high school teacher?
Like,
yeah, I don't know
I don't
high
think I
school,
ever knew
but,
that's
like,
what she did for a living. I'm sure she said it before, and it
I
probably
knew
went
she
right
was
over
a
my head.
teacher, but I didn't know high school.
Oh, that's even cooler.
Yeah, so
I knew she worked in a school, but Shannon, are you a guidance counselor or a teacher in like of a subject?
I think
maybe she
she's a
just said-
teacher,
Oh, okay.
but I could be wrong.
That also sounds like a great guidance counselor.
Yeah.
So anyway, tell us, Shannon. Let
Shannon
us
and Jen O'Toole need to start a guidance school. Judy Murray, we said this before. I'm a little confused about Sally's self-awareness. She said that she wants marriage and kids, but if she dates Austen with the knowledge that Austen is not that guy that wants that too, what is she doing wasting her time for? Touche. Johnny with the comedy. Benita made a great call leaving early. I wanted to leave the end of that episode as well. We all wanted to leave.
I didn't. I wanted to be a fly on the wall.
This is just made me blush and it's so cute. Nicheless Boomer. Mike deserves awards for patience in the man chair. What a guy. Natalie, you bagged a winner. If you hadn't, I'd be trying to meet him. Well, if I was decades younger, I don't mind about that stuff, and in LA. Oh yeah, and not married. I'm also getting married, but one day we're going to share a bottle of Meteor together, totally platonically, and have the time of our lives. Trey, we talked about that. No one talked about Paige until Craig came along. This is another Shannon Fall dinger. Craig takes Charlie seriously. He does not take Sally seriously. And in one of your favorite shows, famous line.
Wait, Barry should send Austen some Meteor wine and be like, cheers to your next relationship.
No, he shouldn't. He should send it to
No,
us.
get it? Because he says it's like a meteor coming to
I know.
Earth.
Yeah,
There was so many times, but you guys went so fast. Like there was no space for me to do it. But I so many times I'm going to be like, not to be confused with Meteor wine.
Not
That's
the
right.
There was
actual-
no space. There was not even an intro I would have. Trust.
Yeah, but your favorite line of one of our favorite shows, I love you, but you are not serious people. That's how Craig feels about Sally.
Oh,
that-
that's so good.
Okay, Shannon, I'm sorry. Well, I got to sell you out on this one. She's not happy about it, but too bad. Those dudes totally went outside for a cheeky cigarette. And I wrote, wait, who? She said, Austen, Craig, and Whitner. I think it was. Austen had to vape at the slumber party. And I wrote, Craig is a secret smoker? Oh, man. Wait till I add this to my bottle of Haterade.
Hold on.
And then she felt really bad because she said you were going to be mad at her.
Never. But wait, what is that from? A cheeky cigarette. What is that from? Is it Love Island?
Probably.
I loved that line. It's from a show or a movie or a reality show. Like it's from something, and I
Something
can't remember
British.
it now.
That's
and
a British
I friggin'
thing.
loved it. Yeah, that's why I thought it was maybe Aaron on Love Island.
Neek 1276. Vanita's acting like a jealous ex-boyfriend. Then she asks why she didn't call her. Not a good friend. The jealous ex-boyfriend and the like people who are saying, does Vanita love Sally? That I can't get that out of my head because that's how she acts. It's like almost making me feel a little bit bad and being like, oh shit, are you in love with this person? Like, are we a heated rivalry here? And you just can't say it? Like, just say it. Be proud. Deborah Traeger. Why aren't you swearing anymore? Swearing once in a while is real. She won't let us.
Yeah, it is.
No. God, apologize to Judy.
I know, but Judy, I'm from New Jersey. It's like I took an oath at birth that I would always curse with, just gusto, as you like to say. What? Oh, I didn't know what. I thought he was going to barf or something.
Okay, Mike has left us for Taco Bell. Courtney's gonna go.
Okay, great. Deborah Traeger said she handled the chickens like she didn't even like them. She's not into the chickens, just Craig. Correct. This we were saying earlier, but this was what Pat had said. Pat Clark goes, I go out and socialize and I travel with friends, but I love going home alone. Even when I was married, I loved when my husbands were out of town. My ex and I are together now, but we each have our own home.
That's so good.
You're in good company.
You're living the dream.
Harris said, I think Craig and Austen should watch Heated Rivalry if they haven't already. And then I said, I think everyone should watch Heated Rivalry. And then Harris said, but especially Craigers and Kroll.
Yeah, I didn't add to that, but I don't think everyone should watch Heated Rivalry. I would like them to. I don't want my mom to watch Heated Rivalry. I just want everyone to know it's not a recommendation coming from us on this show. It's not for everyone. It's for me. It's for me. It's not for everyone. I just am saying, Judy Murray, don't do it,
Judy. It's the best show on television right now.
Even it's not about that. It's a show that has just straight boning all the way through. So if that's not something you're into, I don't care which way you swing, it ain't it. Okay. Listen, I'm just saying. I don't want people being like, so I went to watch that show, you guys.
And I do. I love it. I think it's so great. Okay. Eva Flavor said, Craig not wanting to date someone that's, sorry, we read that one. Marianne Shepard said, I think Sally and Charlie were waiting each other out in the hot tub. Craig was waiting for Sally to give up and leave so he could make a move on Charlie.
If I'm in that hot tub, I'm waiting all of them out. Oh. Like, they ain't going to wait out me. I will be there until the end.
That's right. That's right. Sally always popped up whenever Craig was trying to talk to Charlie. As for Vanita, her fixation on Sally and Craig sounds like she was in love with Sally. Mike was saying this just now. And saying that it's either him or me. Then she gets hurt when the choice is him. She needs to figure herself out. Why is making a choice so necessary? I just thought that was a great point about the Sally, Charlie waiting things out. And also, Sally, you did always insert yourself where Craig's like, I'm going to go get a beer now. She's like, I'll come with you.
Yeah, we saw it. He didn't just tell us. We saw it. It happened.
Saw it with our own eyeballs. Depez. Vanita is an extremely jealous, insecure woman. Watching how elated she was that Craig broke Sally's heart was extremely unsettling. Vanita is not a true friend, or she would have put Sally's happiness before her unwarranted resentment toward Craig. Personally, I believe she's attempting to create an issue with Craig to have a storyline. Vanita brings absolutely nothing to the show. She needs to go. This has been like a very popular sentiment, and I think her mom even echoes it, kind of. Shannon Fall said, Craig takes Charlie seriously. He does not take Sally seriously. And it is true. Meteor Wine said, the four most awful words in the English language, I told you so. They can be thought, but never uttered. That moment when Vanita hears about Craig/Sally, she lights up with the biggest shit-eaten, griefful grin. Despicable. Watch out, Carl Radke. And I agree. There have been so many times I have wanted to say, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. But you never do it. You say it in the mirror, you sing it in the shower, you say it to a friend who has clocked all of these things, but you never say it to the person.
And the fact that she said it on camera, you couldn't even wait. Like, you're so dumb. You're so dumb, Vanita. I don't know what to do.
It was also, to me, an organic response. Like, that shit's not acting. That is really how she felt.
And that shit-eating grin, as he called it, was strapped across her face like, oh, God, just whatever. Moving on. I don't want to talk about her anymore.
Haley and Dave said Sally was mid-sentence telling people what happened when Vanita cut her off to say, I told you so, with a huge Cheshire cat smile on. She couldn't wait till Sally finished to rub. She couldn't even wait till Sally finished to rub it in. She just gets more unbearable every episode. Can someone name me one redeeming quality Vanita has, or one time she's brought anything entertaining, interesting, or aspirational to the show? Craig has many faults, apparently, with the winky tongue out face. But his history/reputation of leading women on and walking them like dogs is not one of them. Side note, I never thought anyone would surpass Sheena's pick-me vibes, especially after she bought the guy she just started dating an Apple Watch.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, but Sally, girl, here we are. Judy Murray said, I'm a little confused about Sally's self-awareness. She said she wants this is the one.
Yeah.
But did you read the whole thing?
Oh,
Okay, great. Great. That's it. That's all I got.
Pat Clark says, I think Minnie needs her own program. Have you seen Cha-Cha in Japan? Minnie is so much better. I haven't, but I already know. I don't have to watch Cha-Cha in Japan to know, but I actually now do want to watch Cha-Cha in Japan. Harris says, man chair incoming. The countdown is on. What is today? Today's Monday. He's going to be here on a Wednesday or a Thursday.
Like 10 days.
10 days. Okay, this is totally random, and I don't even remember how it went because this is the back and forth. But I had to read one thing. So Harris is talking about how he's in a Blue Shield insurance battle, so that he can go see a therapist. I go on with something that's not important, and then Shannon says, I have to pay out of pocket for mine and for my PTSD EMDR therapy. In my mind, my psycho ex who tried to unalive me should have to pay. And all I have to say to that is, do go on. What?
That's a lot of information that we need details on.
All of it. Yeah. This is a Showmance special report, and we are via satelliting in Shannon for that story. That Shannon just gets more and more interesting. Well, I didn't see it.
Well, we just know your memories.
It is pretty bad. But do you remember that?
That she had mentioned it once before.
I need a refresher.
Ginkgo bilobi's.
Haley and Dave says, did anyone catch when one of the other boys commented during Austen's rant at the sleepover? He did say that in reference to Craig, which to me meant that the rest of Austen's stories prior to this all had some artistic license to them. And I just want to say, yeah, definitely. We definitely caught that too.
%.
Haley and Dave also say, shout out to my fellow children-free 42-year-old 5'4" curly-haired women. Holla! Being aware but not being able to speak during an operation, buried alive, and childbirth used to be 3 of my biggest fears. I actually think those are my 3 because I forgot about basically getting sedated and you're in a surgery, but oh no, I'm still here. I saw it on Nip Tuck once. I've never forgotten it.
That was my knee surgery. That's what epidural is. You're awake. But
no, I know, but
from the waist down or whatever.
But there are times that you're not supposed to be awake and you are still feeling things, but you can't say anything. You can't. You're stuck in your body.
Okay. That's enough. That's enough. We don't need to know
you'll
this.
You'll enjoy this. Did you hear? There's a thing that I saw. If you do get buried alive, how to get out of it? Do you want to know?
No.
Yeah.
You flip over. You pee. That soaks the wood or whatever. Then you can dig out, when dirt gets wet, it compacts, right? So then you get that and you compact the dirt. Then you flip back up and start digging. Because you don't want to dig first because then you just get dirt all over you. So you dig, you move, you put that dirt out in the hole, and you just keep doing that process until you're free.
You got to dig down before you dig up.
You dig down to fill the hole, and then you dig up and fill the hole with that dirt, and then you're free.
That doesn't help me because my nightmare is always being buried alive in a box.
Well, same thing. This was in the box.
You have to figure out how to get
wood. You have to soften the wood and bust through it, and then
no one just bury me alive. How about that?
No, none of that. But I'll also that I will. I will try to remember that. But that was information that I had never thought of before, and that's really good information.
Yeah, the chances that you're going to get me down there alive and I'm not going to fight to tell you kill me is 0.
Yeah, that's what I learned from Oprah. Never let them take you to just fight. Don't let them take you to the next location. Yeah, no. That's what I just said. Never let them take you to the second location. If you're in the grocery store parking lot, don't just go with someone and think oh, if I stay calm, they're not going to shoot me here. Run and scream like hell and get out of there because that's your best shot of getting out. Tips and tricks here on how to stay alive.
I don't think I would ever just get in someone's car.
There's that.
If someone has a gun to your back and they're like, if you do anything, I'm going to shoot you. Just get in the car.
Oprah, come on. I already knew that.
Okay, well, some people didn't, and they were on in future episodes saying that tip saved their life.
Yeah, shoot me in the parking lot. Because I'm convinced, I'll go into it thinking, you're going to kill me. So you're either going to kill me here at this first place or you're going to kill me at the second place. Always just assume you're going to die.
And I'm getting a few shots in first.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was Deborah Lashley. She's the one that sparked this about my whole thing about Rod and Vanita, whatever. She said, my opinion, Vanita and Rodrigo must really need the money. Rodrigo needs it for his wedding and Vanita just needs more money. I like Rodrigo, but last night convinced me that his role is to stir the pot. I feel the guys went to the slumber party so Rodrigo could tell everyone Charlie was going out with Craig. I almost jumped through the TV. And it was that comment that I was like, it is Benita and Rod. And then is there any, and then I'm like, Leva. And then I'm like, well, I don't want to, Leva, I just think really enjoys doing it because she doesn't need to be here. She literally owns 10 restaurants. Like she needs none of this.
Just one correction. I think Rod doesn't need it for his wedding. He needs it for his
kitchen. Yeah. Johnny Smiles says, Charlie's mom is hot.
He's in love with her.
Human Stories Entertainment says, personally, I wouldn't sleep with anyone Shep has slept with. Remember the hepatitis rumor in earlier seasons? No chances to be taken. This is what made me go back and not leave anything to Ava's comment about don't sleep with, like, he didn't want to be with someone who has like that kind of girl. And I was like, no, I'll come back to that. I need to speak my piece on this. And then I came to this comment and I'm like, oh, right. I forgot about the STD.
But was it? Because hepatitis is really serious. Does Shep have hepatitis?
I didn't,
because you can't
I thought
cure
it was
that.
like the clap or something.
That's what I thought.
I couldn't remember
I thought it was
what
like a curable STD, but it could be hep. I don't know.
That's why I said I don't remember. So now I just say steer clear of anyone Shep's been with because I don't know which one it was.
I'll look this up.
Nettie says, I'm not hearing any excuses for Venita. She's grown and she failed at portraying herself as a friend. If that was her character. Did we already read this?
Nope.
Because you're a Nettie person. I don't know. You always get all the good Nettie ones. Or maybe she wants to be the villain. Regardless, not the right show for her. Again, she stormed out wanting to steal the scene and make it about her. Nobody that could call themselves a friend would ever talk to Sally the way that she did. Gross. And all with a crazy psychotic smile. She wasn't right about anything. Thank you, Nettie.
Chlamydia.
Oh, it was just the clap?
Wasn't hep. It was chlamydia.
Okay. I still might steer clear of Shep. You don't know where he's been since then.
Better double bag that.
Yeah. Chrissy Sheik says, Nat, you called it about Austen's desire to be with a woman who treats him poorly, and I think you're right about him wanting to be with Sally. That is why she's so quick to talk crap about Craig to Sally. Yep, I agree with you 100%. Do you remember on one of the reunions when Austen said that his mom was like, cut the shit, a very in-charge woman who gets on his case? I remember it, and maybe that's why Austen likes that kind of woman. Love you guys. Keep it coming. Courtney, the comment about Craig being under the billboard was funnier than hair gel on a bald man. Okay, I if anyone, seriously, roll the tapes. I never read, oh, you're right. Oh, I agree with you. I really, it's
you don't.
Very,
you
very
don't.
rare. I don't do it. The reason I wanted to read this one is because it reminded me of something, and I told Mike about this when it happened the other day. There are a very small handful of people that have been with us from episode 1, and like as also, if you've been watching, like that I never set out to do this. I've never had any want. Not only did I not want to be in front of a camera, I ran from it. I hated it. I can barely speak a full sentence without having to stop and reword it 15 times. Chrissy was one of the first people that said to me, oh, the blonde, what she said. Oh, I hear you. Oh, I get what you're saying. And it meant so much to me. Like
back when we were the blonde, the brunette, and the asshole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, I hope that you don't find this weird, Christy, but I really do. Like, I'm always thinking of her. Like when I'm doing my notes, when I'm watching the show, I'm like, she'll get this. And so when she tells me that she gets it, I'm like, thank you. Because she was the first person to ever get me. And like I said, no one ever really does. And it just meant a lot. So I love her. And I wanted her to know, but I won't be weirded out. I'm not like obsessed, but
Look, I was just saying,
think of you a little bit more than I do many people.
Yeah, Christy and Truth need to not send their address. That's all I'm gonna say.
What, you're like Prezzies? Me and Minnie in a basket? Okay, and then the last one, before I close it out, I have one more. It's from Mary McAndrews, and she said, Courtney wants credit for the big salad, which I just thought was hilarious.
I don't know what that is.
The big salad, Seinfeld. Like whatever it was, I can't remember what we were talking about. Oh, I think it was probably another thing. I think it was when we were talking about, like, Mike read a comment.
Two truths?
Something like that. And we both were like, are you sure that you're the one that said that? I think Courtney, because it's happened a dozen times where people will say that Mike said something that actually Courtney said. I just think it's funny because guys,
it happens to me all the time. Yes. It's so upsetting. It's why I had an underactive thyroid. The emotional reason that you get an underactive thyroid, they say, and You Can Heal Yourself by Louise Hay, is you want to be heard. That's the understatement of the century.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So anyway, what's the big salad? I had asked. I'm like, I don't know what this means.
And I could be getting the order of people wrong, but this is the gist of it. George bought the big salad for Elaine. Like they were all going to meet somewhere. Oh, will you order me this and bring it? Okay, great. So he does that. And then Jerry, I think, hands the big salad over. So it looks like he got it. And it could be the opposite. It could be that Elaine hands it to Jerry. But either way, George is the one, and George never does dick for anyone. So the fact that he went and got the big salad, the whole episode was about him being like, but did she know that I'm the one that got the salad?
Yes, that's
like
my
the
life.
whole episode was him going, I can't believe you took credit for the big salad. I'm the one that got the big salad, because he never gets anything for anyone.
Yeah, I'm stuck in the episode of the big salad. That's my whole life. I told my family about the Peloton when it was like still in like the beta phase. Okay.
Yeah.
And my sister and brother-in-law love cycling. And I was like, you should get this thing called a Peloton. And they were like, what is it? And I explained it to them. I sent them the website. I was like, here's where you can get it, whatever. Every time this Peloton gets brought up, it's like, oh, now my mom has one, my brother has one. Thank God Betsy told us about the Peloton. I'm like, I told you about the Peloton. I got a Tesla, and everyone in my family's like, I don't know, you can't trust those electric cars. Can't believe you got it. Now everyone in my family drives a Tesla, and they're like, oh, Betsy really talked us into getting this. I'm like, I will kill you, and I don't care that you birthed me.
Yeah.
And finally, my mom's like, it's really unfair. You know, Courtney is the one who's told us about all these things. I'm like, I'm going to be in a straitjacket soon. Anyway, the big salad is the story of my life.
Okay, so she says, mad respect to all for keeping up with the comments. What happens when you blow up? I want dibs on tickets to your life. Okay, we don't need to go into all that. Who knows about that? But what I wanted to say about the comments, it's not about keeping up with them. We loved, this is my favorite part. However, last week we had a 4-hour show. We ended up having to split it up. I think the show ended up being 3.5, but we taped for 4.5 hours. So we're trying to figure out how to do a third show. We all show up here basically in the dark of night with these two have like 17 jobs put together. And so we're not always going to be able to, and maybe hopefully one day when we do blow up, because we haven't blown up at all, but one day when we do get bigger and that we have a Patreon, we will have shows that are just dedicated to comments. I would love to do an entire show, 90 minutes, that's just us going through all of our favorite comments.
Yes.
But we're trying to figure out how to find the time to do this third show. So we have decided that at the end of every show, we get to, like, it's not about picking a handful. It's about, we all have 7 minutes in heaven, and we're going to put on a timer. And if that goes over 7, like, it is not about picking the comments. It is about, here they are. How fast can you get through them? Because we want to do it, but like it will put us over hours. That's
because we're already over 3 hours now, and it's just because there's so much to pack in.
Yeah.
Helpful tip though, when we do get to that point, which will be coming quickly, where we're just reading comments lightning speed, drop the playback speed to 0.5. It'll be
You'll
normal.
get your same hour.
Yeah.
Okay, closing it out with Truth for Peace for Freedom!
I'm still sick.
You're still Tom Sandoval.
Woo!
I died last week with my cousin. There's a hole in my trumpet.
There it is.
You sound like you're on the mend.
I think that, but then here I am, still coughing and wheezing and can't sing. I told Pat, I think Pat Clark is also getting, or is it Pat or Judy? I can't remember. Probably everyone. But was like, or Joe Schmo. Joe Schmo is also sick and lost her voice and was like, oh, I'm getting over it. And I sent her a message. I was like, bro, I think I'm a couple of days, but I'm what's pissing me off the most is I like to sing in my car on the way to work by myself because I can't sing. And this voice, I can't get those high notes. I can't sing. It's like it's been 4 weeks of just absolute boredom on the way to work. And I just fell in love with Steven Wilson Jr. If you guys haven't heard Steven Wilson Jr., go now. Don't finish, just go. He's the best ever.
This
and
is the
all
second
I
week in a row
do,
we've got a Steven Wilson Jr.
I'm going to
highlight.
bring him up every single week.
Yeah, and
but
you told everyone you cried.
No, I didn't tell anyone that except you. Thanks a lot.
You said it
Told
on the
everyone.
show.
You weren't supposed to put that part in.
Well, that we didn't get that memo.
Yeah, I don't know. Courtney will say, and don't put this in, but you got to take a note. I don't know.
We weren't even filming. I was just telling you what my life was like for the 3 hours prior. Whatever, I didn't cry. It was just allergies. I'm sick.
Anyway, close it out with truth.
Okay, these are in no particular order, so I don't know if they all go together, but who cares? Reality TV show pitch. The two most elegant and classy ladies on Bravo, Miss Patricia and Lisa Vanderpump, will create a school for men and women who want to become butlers. There will be other instructors there who will classically train them in the craft to becoming a professional butler. Each night there will be an elimination ceremony. I'm sorry, but I haven't figured out what they will pass out yet. Any ideas? It can't be notes because it can't be roses because that belongs to the Bachelor franchise. It can't be shark tooth necklaces because that belongs to Shep's future dating show. I also feel like you could call Shep's women a franchise. You know, it can't be blah 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 blah, and it can't be clocks on a necklace because Flava Flav already did that. What's an accessory that is synonymous with a butler? So the contestants on the show will be tested on the royal way of making a martini, setting a table, answering a door in a timely fashion, not creating a toxic chemical breathing environment at the estate by trying not to bake their cell phones into the oven, among a whole host of other skills.
I think they could give them the mallet that they mash the ice with, in the ice mashing bag. Like, will you accept this martini mallet?
Yeah.
Somebody said a bell. They each get a bell. Or they their bell gets rung when they get fucking bounced. A butler bell.
And then when you leave, if you get kicked out, do you take the silver tray and bang them on the head with it?
No, they can just cut the little bell out of your thing so it doesn't jingle anymore.
Stage. All ideas are welcome.
Yeah.
You could do both.
We'd like to ring your bell. Sorry.
I was thinking a few episodes ago that it was only a matter of time before Sally started calling Craig chicken. She wanted him so bad and worked so hard for him. She got a little lost with her blinders on. I do feel bad for her. Her tenacious spirit of going after what she wants leads me to believe that she will accomplish anything and will have a very successful life. She will definitely become a wife and a mother and keep her lucrative career. With Craig, she learned an important life lesson. New love shouldn't be that difficult. It shouldn't feel like work or that she needs to impress a guy. Just being her authentic self will attract the right man. Sorry, I don't know if you caught that cat flying through the air.
And almost eating shit.
Hopefully she plays it cooler with the next guy that comes along. Is the next guy Austen? If so, that's a disaster waiting to happen. For such a smart woman, she sure makes some questionable moves when it comes to men. I just want to clarify something I said that made me sound like a spoiled brat. The only move my family ever made happened during the middle of my 7th grade year. We moved to a house with central air. Before that, I used to stick my head in the freezer in the summer to get a few moments of relief. Also, my sister and I shared a bedroom, twin beds on opposite sides of the bedroom, and we only had one oscillating fan in the bedroom. So we would sleep on top of our beds with only our underwear on, dripping sweat, waiting for it to be our turn to have 2 seconds of hot air from the fan blowing on us. Such a strange brain fart that I forgot that. I guess it was more torturous to be freezing to death than melting to death. This goes back to her talking about how all of us, I don't know about you, I feel like you didn't have this, but our parents were like, put on a sweatshirt, put on your mittens, go take a run if you're cold. And then when it was hot, it was like, put on a tank top,
stand in front of a fire hydrant,
put the sprinkler on or whatever it was. And I was saying, she was saying that hers was like at 1 all year. And I'm like, well, then how lucky were you during the summer? Anyway, I was just dicking around, and Mike always says, like, I'll say a joke. It won't matter to whose detriment it is. Like, I'll do anything for a laugh, and I did something for a laugh, and you did not sound like a spoiled brat. You're the last person that sounds like a spoiled brat. Yeah.
At all.
Sorry, she's my best friend, so she's getting into the where it's like you don't really want to be that close of friends with me because I will start throwing you under the bus.
This is true. I never get apologies though.
Are you guys watching the new season of Vanderpump Rules? I would say give it 5 episodes, and if you aren't excited to watch episode 6, then it's probably not for you. I'm in. One of the eyebrow boys, Jason, admits to using a penis pump and eats cat food because he was so poor. I believe the penis pump part, but I have my doubts about the cat food. I mean, the cheapest can of tuna isn't that much more than a can of cat food. I'm assuming he meant the wet food and not the bag of dry food. Anyway, I hope Andy gets to the bottom of it at the reunion. I am only on episode 3.5 because I just here's what it was. I started episode 4, but I was firing off a thing to Harris about what a piece of shit that Marcus kid is. And I don't know why he thinks he's so good looking. He is not. And I think his girlfriend is annoying too. And maybe that changes. But the audacity of these two I wanted to come through my screen and throw them off of that rooftop event that they were at because
I haven't watched it yet.
I don't know if you guys ever heard of Steven Wilson Jr., but before he was the best musician that ever lived, he was a scientist, and he worked for the Mars Corporation in the pet food division. He created like a greenie, not greenies, but like a greenie type treat for dogs.
I'm
Pretty
looking
cool.
this guy up.
And B, he said that like the executives would come down to the floor and eat wet cat food as like a flex. And he was like, being a scientist and knowing what's in cat food, I do not recommend eating cat food. Not good for peeps.
What's in it?
Not something. He's like, well, he made a thing. He also was like, cat digestive is totally different than a human, obviously. But like, you just don't eat cat food.
I think if you got like farmer's dog or something, you could eat that stuff.
That would be a dog food.
But they make it for cats.
They don't. I've been looking for it.
They're different companies. They do. I'll send you
The only
them.
one I found was Smalls, and then I went to order some, and then was like, maybe I'll do some reviews. Apparently, they're basically ripping everybody off, signing them up for like $300 subscriptions, and
then you can't get out.
and you can't get out of it.
Oh, I hate that.
Smalls.
Almost as much as I hate Marcus and Kim from Vanderpump Rules.
This is not who I thought Stephen Wilson Jr. would be.
Huh?
I'm just seeing a picture of Stephen Wilson Jr. I just didn't think this is what
Handsome
he would
fella, ain't he? He's so sweet. His story is sweet.
No,
The
I'm sure
whole
he's
thing
amazing.
is
He looks like
so amazing.
someone who works at like a coffee shop in Silver Lake.
Oh yeah, definitely
like a
doesn't
country
give him a
star.
scientist spot. New school country.
I got a reply email from Truth.
Already? Are we live?
No, this is just from last night at 3 a.m.
I'm always wondering who you're talking to at 3, 4 in the morning. Full phone conversations out
It's
here.
Harris or Truth. That's it. There, no one else is. Oh, my mom. My mom
Chad.
lately has been up. She's on a funky schedule. I don't know how it happened, but yeah, it's between the three of them. Which my mom, as if anyone saw my story on Instagram, sent me that random text that said, "I have an idea for a podcast." I'm like, first of all,
Bring
thank
it,
you for the
Gina.
quotes.
Wait, has she pitched it yet? Are we setting up a meeting?
No, she's also called me like 5 times since then, though, and I've been busy. And so she's like, hello. Like, so she's probably trying to get it pitched.
Send us a deck, Gina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's probably
We'll
trying
have
to
our
get
systems look
get a
through it, and if
pitch
we're into
meeting.
it,
Yeah.
well, we did it, guys.
Yeah, we did do it.
I
Listen,
love-
it's better than it was.
Yeah, it's 45 minutes less than it was, which isn't nothing.
And as you probably saw, we didn't do Salt Lake this week, and I had said that we would. And I hate when I
Liar.
do that. I really hate that. But like, we watched it, and just like last week with Southern Charm, the week prior for Salt Lake, we had done a really long 3-hour something, and I'd realized after I watched the first reunion, I yelled about all of this for 3 hours straight already. It would have been a literal repeat. There was nothing new for me to say about any of those broads that I hadn't already just screamed for far too long. So we are saving it until all the reunions are done, and we'll do one last episode for that with all 3 reunions with Harris in the man chair. But the man chair may change because I told Harris he could pick his chair because he, like me, might prefer a different angle. So we might be playing musical chairs for Harris.
I didn't know this was an option because this
It's
is
not an
my
option
bad.
for you.
There you
No,
go.
sorry. I told Harris this too. I'm like, actually, Courtney's not allowed to move though, because if you were ever paid to be a model, that means you are asymmetrical.
I'm not.
And so
This is
you've
my
counted
bad
yourself out. No, you don't have a bad side.
This side is much better. The tooth shadow is here. I'm just saying.
You
this
guys
is,
can switch.
no, but his is dead on.
I'll always only
matter to me.
do
This
this
is
chair or
all
that
good.
chair, but I will never do that side because I'm a whole different person. Heather McDonald gets it. She said, "You won't recognize me if I'm on that side."
That's great. Okay, it's time for bed.
Yes, and for me to eat my Taco Bell.
Also, I love Trader Joe's, but these aren't that good. So maybe don't buy them.
Did you tell them earlier to buy them?
No, if someone saw me eating them, I was eating a lot of them because I don't know, they're like one of those treats that they're so bad, but you're like, let me eat another one to make sure they're this
I
bad.
know that treat. Oh
That's
my
this
God,
treat,
that's so
the crunchy
annoying.
pops.
That
It's
is
not going to last
so
long.
annoying. Hey, ciao. Love you. Bye.